What do we have here? We have a Shieldon. Look at this, a mirror polished budget knife. That's crazy. I think it's called the Bulbasaur, I guess. I think that's what it's called, man. That's a crazy name. Very cool. It's a good size knife. I think it's about a 3.7 inch blade. 3.7, 3.8. It's got that crazy leaf shape design, you know. The scales are pretty cool too. That layered G10 with two different colors. And then the way they cut it exposes the different colors so that it has that kind of a zebra look to it. Now this thing is a bit of a fingerprint magnet on the blade, obviously. It's hard not to be when it's mirror polished. But I mean, this is like a $60 knife. I'll try to find a link, put a link down in the comments. The pivot surround area is interesting. It's like a built-up area of G10 where they put little cuts down into it to reveal those little swirl angles, so it looks kind of neat. I'm not sure why they left it built up like that instead of using a come on, focus, instead of using a pivot that was smaller and having this be set down even with the rest of the scale. I do not know that. The liners are super thick, nice heavy duty liners. The backspace, or not backspacers, the whatever you call those things, the pillars back there are nice and beefy. Grip on the or the texture of the scales is it's a tad on the slick side, but I mean, it's grippy enough. It's got a nice sound to it. Let's listen to the opening. It has a weird little twang to it. Yeah, it's interesting. When I first heard it, I was like, man, does this sound as cool as like the Winter Blade Co. Factor? And then I compared them and I was like, no, it doesn't. But it is very cool. It's a neat sound. The closing sounds not bad either. Kind of neat. A lot of jimping on it here and there. Good bit down here. Good bit on the blade. Matching that right there. The blade shape is not my favorite shape, but if you like it, they did a damn good job on it. I'd probably cut it something like that so that it dips down. Something like that. I don't really love the big giant leaf shape, but if somebody said you can have this for free, but you have to keep the blade this way, well, I would definitely take it for free and keep the blade that way because it is pretty cool. Ergos are not bad. I can definitely feel the pocket clip. I think because it's so far down on the frame, down here, instead of like being centered maybe. And it's a little bit tall too, where it comes up off of the screws. A tad tall right there. Don't really feel this end so much, mainly back here. Yeah, it's just a little beefy. A little wide, sticks up a little high. Definitely noticeable. If you could, and it looks like the kind that has the right size screws that would be fairly easy to replace with an aftermarket, like a titanium clip from, oh, maybe one from CJRB or Civivi. One of those might fit it. I'm not saying for sure it would, but it might. That would be cool to do. Get it down a little lower, a little flatter. It would feel better in the hand and look nicer too. Put a nice polish on it. Very slicey blade out of good steel, Sandvik 14C28N. So it's going to be pretty stain resistant. Boy, is it really called the Bulbasaur? That's hilarious. What does it say there? See if we can read it. Well, I can't read it. It keeps unfocusing. Let me see. I got a magnifying glass right over here. I'm going to look at it. It looks like it says Django, D-G-A-N-G-O. You got me, man. Then you got numbers on here, 9061G-M. So you got some numbers, you got some weird words, you got Shieldon. I don't know. I haven't looked into too many of their other knives. I assume Shieldon makes other knives. I don't think you make this crazy thing and not make any other ones. Be worth a look. But this one is pretty neat. Perfect lockup. No play. What's the blade there? At 50% lockup. Not bad. Lock access is great. Flipper tabs a tiny bit pointy, but not bad. Detent's nice and crisp. Centering. Very nice. I think it's a pretty cool knife, especially if you don't mind bigger knives and you don't mind the big crazy leaf-shaped blade. So that's your Shieldon Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur. What a great name. Have a nice day.